Hello, bedheads! Welcome to Outlandish Outlander, episode s03e11.
How very appropriate to be speaking in Spanish.
Sweetie, just say now, I just realized you're breaking the rule of thirds.
What, I need to be over here?
You need
What?
to scoot up.
Well, I'm shorter than you.
You know,
That's what I'm referring to, that famous comment some guy said to me one time when he met me. He said, I thought you'd be so much taller. Your head is at the same level of Zork's in the BedVlog. I have notes.
She has notes.
Every week I have notes trying to have the recording session shorter so that I won't edit for, I think I have it down to 3 or 4 hours.
I have no notes.
You were awake? You were awake the whole time. I don't know whether to attribute that to the fact that you like these episodes better, you find them more suspenseful, or that, I don't know. What should I attribute it to that you haven't been falling asleep during the episode at midnight lately?
Dunkin' Donuts?
All right, I'm trying to be a more responsible podcaster, so I'm just going to start out by saying the details of the episode, which was called Uncharted, which was initially going to be called Turtle Soup, which everyone, the producers said would have been a spoiler, and everyone kept talking about turtle soup all week. I kind of forgot what the turtle soup had to do with everything. So I guess I'm not as big a fan as I thought. I mean, once they got into the scene with the turtle soup, I was thinking, oh right, that scene. And that is a very famous scene. But I forgot
I'm just getting it now. I guess turtles are supposed to be an aphrodisiac. I'm just getting it now.
Yeah. But
is that true?
I don't know if it's really true or if they were just flirting with each other about it. We'll have to check that out. But it is a very famous scene.
Pause here for the Wikipedia research.
Yeah.
Not.
I might. I mean, it's just a famous scene. The director is someone named Charlotte Brandstrom, who is also going to be the director of the next episode. The writers are Karen Campbell and Sharon Goss, and it's only one other time this season do they credit 2 writers for an episode, so I'm not really sure how that came about. They're both fairly new writers, and one was the author of Creme de Menthe, and the other one was the author of The Doldrums. And the other thing that I wanted to look up, because I thought he was really, really great, was the actor who played Father Fogden. Because Father Fogden, in the book, he's even more crazy than he seemed in the episode.
If there already weren't a trademark on Looney Tunes, he would start it.
And I forgot that our reference the other week to Wilson was actually going to come true. I completely forgot about that. And I did, when I was making my notes, actually check that was really from the book, that he talked to Coco. And it's true, it's from the book. He was just kind of crazy and smoked a bunch of pot or whatever the equivalent was. Yes.
Got a little chong mixed in with his cheeks.
And I think he's drinking a lot of sangria in the book. But basically, I thought Father Fogden was great, and I looked up who the actor was, Nick Fletcher. There's a bunch of Nick Fletchers on Twitter, but I think I found out which one he was, and I just said, hey, were you Father Fogden? Because you were great. Because he just great. The whole wedding, that's pretty much just how it happened in the book. It was even worse in the book. He was practically like falling down and unable to complete the ceremony. He was so wasted. So, Mamacita is played, just to give credit also to the side cast, by someone named Victoria Laporia. And in the book, too, she's very suspicious of Claire. Now, one thing they did in the book that I liked, and they didn't do it in the show, and I don't know why, maybe it just wasn't practical, was in the book, she makes a big deal about how no one can touch the clothes. They have this whole closet full of beautiful clothes that had belonged to the wife who ran away because she was wealthy. In the TV show, they have one dress hanging on the wall, and all I can assume is maybe that was one, like, historic dress they borrowed that didn't fit anybody, because in the book, you know, as we always say, we're not spoiler free. It isn't really a spoiler, but in the book, Marsley does wear one of the dresses of what is her name, Eminegilda. And they convince Mamacita to let Marsley wear one of her beautiful dresses to be married in. All right, there's the last thing I had on my notes is my favorite part, which is one of my favorite parts in all of the books. The whole thing. All of it.
The whole thing.
All 8 books.
All 8 books. Count them. 8.
No, put your hand back up. 8. 8 books. And it's not about sex. Can you guess? Can you guess what it was?
Why would you be, reading this book and watching this if it weren't all about sex?
It has to do with Fergus. I'll give you a hint.
Wait, he got married.
Yeah, but what happened during the wedding ceremony? That's my favorite part. I guess. Well, it may, didn't affect you the same way, I guess.
And yes, of course, it's all great when, noble Jamie passes on his last name to young Fergus because he is a surrogate son of his.
Yeah, that should appeal to you. You have a lot of surrogate fathers.
Yes.
I love that part. When Fergus is like, no, my name is just Fergus. And
there you have it.
Yeah.
Rule number
Jamie
1.
Jamie says, you're Fergus Fraser. Fergus Claudel. Claudel was the name he had when Jamie renamed him Fergus.
Many people don't know it, but a side effect of growing up in a brothel
is
not having a last name.
Not knowing who your father was.
You just are brothel boy.
And I can't remember.
And it is good that he was actually given at least a first name like Fergus, as opposed to just being, hey, brothel boy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, water boy at a baseball game or an Adam Sandler film. Hey, brothel boy. Change sheets.
And I can't remember if Jamie, if he knew who his mother was. I don't remember if that figured into it. I have a lot of love for Fergus. I do. And just spoiler alerts, in future books, his parentage is going to come into question as far as who his potential father might have been, and it's still unresolved. It's been sort of a recurring sort of theme happening throughout the last couple books, is that something has come up with some people trying to find Fergus, and they're not sure why, and it might have something to do with who his father was.
There you have it. Can we flash backward for a second to talk about how we are slam poets when we're not in bed, and slam poets is all about the 3-minute rule, where a poem can only be 3 minutes, and they had the whole episode about slam poetry rules with the 3-minute rule, and then they used 30 minutes of the episode to explain the 3-minute rule.
30 minutes.
The 30-second 3-minute rule.
Well, they had the 3 things rule. Yeah, you mean about surviving?
Yep.
That you could survive only 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. I didn't know you could survive 3 weeks without food. I knew it was a long time, but I didn't know it was 3 whole weeks. So, Yeah, that was my one complaint, and as you know, I already started complaining about it during the episode. I just couldn't understand why they spent so much time with Claire lost in the jungle. It just seemed like you could have made that point in half the time. And
so you can get to the turtle whoop whoop.
Well, I mean, I know that sometimes
she wants double the time on the turtle whoop whoop, and half the time on the 3-minute slam poetry rule.
Well, I knew that some other pretty interesting stuff was coming up since I've read the book. I'm wondering if someone who didn't know the book would have had a different reaction to all that languishing in the jungle, or the same reaction but for different reasons. Maybe I just don't know. I mean, they might have thought, good grief, is this whole episode she's going to be lost in the jungle by herself for this entire episode? They didn't have to pay anybody except Katrina Balfe. As soon as they got to Father Fogden's, I thought everything picked up. And if I could just go back to that for a second, one of my theories about why she was so long in the jungle is I wondered if the episode was too short and they needed more material. Like, they're talking about how you often film too much in case the episode ends up a little bit too short and you don't have material to put in. But I can think of a few things that I know happened in the book.
Soup.
Well, I can think of a few easy things they could have done to make the episode a little longer, whether they're from the book or made up, like a lot of things they make up.
Outtakes after the credits from the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I mean, you could have found out a little more. They could have, first of all, had...
Why are there no Burt Reynolds bloopers at the end of an episode like this, like at the end of Cannonball Run?
You gotta buy the thing. You gotta buy the DVD at the end of the season to get the
best
bloopers.
Part of a Burt Reynolds movie, is the bloopers at the end.
I bet there were some bloopers for this episode. I bet there were some good ones.
Don't forget to like Facebook page.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that.
To comment on Facebook page, and also to likey on YouTube and subscribe. Do all the clicky stuff.
Yeah.
Notification bells, all of that.
Unless you're a hater. If you're a hater, just pass us on by. But if you like us, it'd be really nice to know. I think that nobody's gonna subscribe to us because our romance scenes are just as good as Jamie and Claire's.
Because the BedVlogs is rated PG for pretty good.
All right. You know how people were saying print shop, we have to wait for the print shop. People were saying turtle soup, and I forgot that's what it was all about. The turtle soup was all about sex.
All about whoop whoop.
Maybe we need some turtle soup.
Ooh, baby.
With lots of sherry in it.
Ooh, baby.